Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was a little bit earlier, and I'm going to get out later on after this. But anyway, I hope you're being kind to yourself, and also, make sure you get out because at least in this area, the leaves are changing colors and it looks so beautiful out there. So make sure you get out and take lots of pictures like Starlight did. And I'm sorry I forgot all about putting pictures of some of the photos that I took, pictures that I took last weekend. So hopefully, if I can remember this time when I make this video, I can just throw some freebies out there of some, beautiful. I don't know if it's quite fall yet. I'm not sure what day fall starts, but it's beautiful. Starlight wants to go to a what is it called? A maze, a corn maze. Starlight really wants to go? Universe, can Starlight go to a corn maze? Thank you. So Starlight would love to. I would like to do the nighttime corn maze. I don't even know if they have that where you bring a flashlight. I have a light right here, but that's kind of big. But yeah. So anyway, make sure you get out. A lot of people like getting out this time because it's cooler in the mornings. It's easier for them to breathe in the daytime. So anyway, besides that, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Digman. Plus, don't forget you can give this video a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget you can leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you could share my videos. You could share my videos with your family, your friends. A seagull? I saw one today. I forgot to. What does it mean when you see a seagull? Somebody tell me, Yeah, I gotta look that up. I forgot all about that. I saw that this morning. I was like, ah. And they're not dirty animals. God made all these beautiful animals, and they're not dirty, says Starlight. Besides, a seagull is also, let's see, let's see, what other kind of animal? A black shepherd. That's an animal. Yeah, my brother had black shepherds. So, not a black shepherd, but no, I'm sorry. There is a black shepherd out there. I do have pictures of a black shepherd somewhere. But yeah, you could share. Now, if I could find that on the videos here to find a picture of a black shepherd. So those are beautiful dogs. And also, not only you could share my videos with a black shepherd if you have one, is you can ring the notification bell, and Starlight doesn't have her bell here today, so ding, ding, ding. And you can check out my playlist. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Digman Starlight. So today, I've been doing some extra stuff, and my day has been going great. I was able to get up early again, so that gives me more time. So I was studying, but I had to stop because I knew I had to get this going here. So that I'm going to have to, I really wasn't happy with the video that I found to study, so I got to figure this out more. So today I have a different topic, and I have mentioned this somewhat in some of the relationships. So this is a relationship video. So this is for anyone really, because we, as long as you're, I don't even know the ages these days, when they're starting out, because I was pretty young when I was, a long time ago, with relationships. But this is about people that, they just recently got out of a relationship. This is for all of those, but it's not just for men and women that just recently got out of a relationship. This will actually help people that, like Starlight Is she single? Is she single? So Starlight, is she single? Well, I don't see any wedding rings on my hand, so I'm still single yet. But there is, someone out there, and someone special out there. So now, with me though, it's been a long time that I've been single, since 2000. Well, without sex, 2018, but my last relationship was in 2017. And we won't talk about how that ended. But so this is for people that, like I said, it could be for anybody, because even though you might have not have just got out of a relationship recently, and I'm saying recently, it could have been a month ago, it could have been, 6 months ago, like that, or even longer. But really not too much longer than that, like a couple of years maybe. So this is for people that are in that situation, or people that might not be in that situation, but this video can help you too, because maybe you're with somebody now, but we don't know how long that's going to last, and it doesn't even matter if you're married or not, because marriages, sometimes. I heard like a story not too long ago, and I thought it was I don't get into the Hollywood stars, but sometimes I can't escape the stuff, because I'll turn my radio on or turn YouTube on and it's there. You can't escape the stuff that's going on Hollywood. But I did hear where some Hollywood stars got married, and before you know it, they got divorced. That they got out of that really quick. Things just did not go really good. So but this is for people that you've been single for a while, like you're still, really face it, you're still healing from that past relationship that you were in. And it does matter how long were you in that relationship. It does matter, because more shit happens, the longer the relationship, so and sometimes I've heard people where they were married to somebody for years, a long time, and then near the end they discovered that, and they don't realize, like how long was that person cheating on them, and they're like, so that's why it's always good, to make sure you take care of yourself first. But keeping, not that you got to spy. I hope you're not spying on anyone, but there's times that we might have to, and those are, I don't want to get off track, because Starlight's a little spy. I always have this saying is when I start living together with that man, and we're living together, there should not be, anything hidden. So if there's anything that he doesn't want me to know, you better not have it in the house. I'll use my intuition, and pray, and that it does work. So, but I'm not worried about that. The person that really I'm in a higher love with is, I trust that person. We're building a, a foundation of trust. So with that is, breaking up with somebody, whether you broke up with them, maybe you're growing and they're just shrinking, and that has been the case for Starlight many times over and over again, is that, I was, through my whole life, is always working on improving myself. My whole family is a witness to that. If I wasn't in church, now I'm actually, learning about spirituality and studying about that and still working on myself, so when it comes to relationships, that really people should, I don't want to say should or shouldn't, but it is not the wisest thing to, like get done with a relationship and 3 months later, or so, this is really, it's sad when this happens. It's like, maybe I'm going to pick on the ladies this time instead of the guys, because Starlight picks on the guys a lot, I know, but we'll pick on the girls this time and say, okay, so the girl broke up with the guy. Why? I don't know. Why did she break up with him? She broke up with him because she couldn't control him. It wasn't working, you know. She kind of like, oh, this is not going my way. I'm just gonna break up, and you know, I want to find somebody I can control. I want to tell them what to do, and I want to tell them what time they need to get back at the house. You know, I want to tell them, you know, where to take a shit. I don't know, but Starlight's mean. You know, so it didn't work out for her, so she broke up with the guy, and they could have been going together, say, 3 years. They were going out with each other. They didn't get married, you know, because, you know, she just wasn't able to control, you know, things weren't going her way. The man was not going to put up with it. So good for that guy, you know, he wasn't going to put up with it. So I give him a good for you. Woo! You didn't put up with it. So it is wise, very wise. Guys, don't put up with that shit. Straight. Starlight will give it to you straight. Nobody should be telling you what to do. It should be a, you know, like you come together, you know, and, you know, you got to have, you know, you got to communicate on how you see things before you get together, you know. And a lot of times this is where things don't really go well is, you know, after they move in with each other, then, you know, and they only been seeing each other for maybe a couple months, you know, and then bam, they're already moving in together, and you know they didn't have no you know, relationship with them before. It's just a couple months of getting to know, and you know, a lot of times they want to, you know, like quicken things up, speed things up to make things, you think, easier, because now, you know, like both of you don't have to pay for 2 places to rent or own, you know, where you know, like one person might have a house, and then, you know, mostly the wise thing to do would be to do that, you know, is to move into the house, you know, or, you know, get something else that will work, you know, all together, no matter what. You're living together, you know, and a lot of times that's when people change really quick, you know. Then they find out all this other little details about the person that they didn't know, and then, you know, controlling, and now, you know, the routine and all that stuff, they're getting to know each other as far as, you know, really how they are, the core of who they are when they start living together. So but she wants to break up with this man because he is not, you know, that was something that he dealt with before, is having a female tell him what to do. And you know, where there's lots of men out in the world that, you know, some men, they're submissive type men that they like having a female tell them what to do, you know. So that definitely is not for Starlight at all. But with that is she decides, hey, you know, I'm going to go out and try to find somebody else, you know, where I can boss them around and get my way, you know. And that is really not what I'm going to talk about. But I want to, before I even finish saying what I want to say, is I heard on the radio today, and this is why I'm bringing this up, is that there's a radio station, and I just was going through, and there's this goofy song that I love to dance to, and I go kind of back and forth with the radio station, but they have on this channel, I like listening because I learn about people. That's Starlight's like a spy. She's a people watcher. I'm always studying people. I've been like this my whole life. Is that it's called ghosting. Have you been ghosted? So I can't believe some of the stuff I listen to on the radio. There's that. There's I think it's the same station. I'm just gonna stay focused on this. Have you been ghosted? So then if you've been ghosted in a relationship or whatever kind of relationship, you can call up this radio station and say, yeah, you know, I think it's mainly for relationships, you know, like you went on a date, you know, or something, and, you know, everything seemed to go good. And then before you know it, the other person ghosts them. They're not talking anymore. I have somebody that did that to me before. They ignored me, but they were teaching me a lesson. So with that, what I was hearing on the radio, I just was blown, you know, away. And that's why I like listening to it, because it is kind of shocking. is that they were talking together, like through a dating app or whatever, and then after that, like for a month, only a month, okay, only a month. And then it went from the dating app, and a lot of people do, they want to get off the dating app, and so they can, exchange telephone numbers, and that's what they did. So then they waited for a month, to actually finally get to meet each other. So the story is that they were going to make an all-day thing out of this, for their first time meeting. Starlight would not actually do that unless I really had the first time with him first. But so that's one of my insights on that is first I want to let's go to dinner, go for a walk, and then let's see how that goes, and then we can maybe arrange like an all day thing. But really the first time to meet somebody in a 24, they actually so at 24 hours they were together, on their first date. So anyway, is they went and did a lot of drinking. They went different places and had a drink here, went and did this and that throughout the whole day, and then ended up spending the night at one of their houses, and then the next day, the guy, of course they had to go to work and do this and that or whatever. And so apparently the lady wasn't sure, but, the guy just stopped responding. It's almost like, are you alive? So she called up the radio station, and they at the radio station asked her a lot of questions, and then she answered all these questions, and she explained, hey, yeah, everything was going great, and this and that, and we had dinner, they kind of skipped through the part that they slept together, until you heard that later on. It's kind of strange, but and then, she was texting him in the daytime, but no response. It's like he died. He didn't die. He's still alive. But so she was wondering, what are we going to go? Like what happened? And so anyway, I can't believe it. They do something else on this radio station. I think it's the same radio station. It's really horrible, some of the stuff that they do. So that will be another video. I'll tell you about the other one another time. So anyway, is the radio station, what they do is they call up the guy. She gives him the number. Here you go. Here's his number. So they call the man up, and they're like, oh yeah, we're is so-and-so there? We'll just say his name is Justin. Is this Justin, blah, blah, blah? And Justin's like, yeah. And they're like, oh yeah. We are the radio station, whatever radio station, and have you ever heard of our radio station? He's like, yeah, you guys do a great job. And they're like, hey, great, thank you. And then find out that they're like, hey, have you ever heard of Have You Been Ghost? And he actually has heard of Have You Been Ghost, so, and he's like, yeah, I have, and he had no clue, like how, he might have forgot. So they're asking him, the guy and a girl at the radio station is asking this guy, hey, like, have you, like, gone on a date with anybody recently? And it's a good thing you did have the right female's name. Imagine that, saying the wrong female's name. Whoopsie. Now she would know. So anyway, so he had the right name of the right female that was actually making this call to get a hold of him, and find out is that she was really nagging him a lot on the phone, but it wasn't that really killed the whole thing as far as going any further with her, and it was because of his past experience. And and this is the whole point, he just got out of a relationship, and I didn't know that until they, had him on the phone. So he just got out of a relationship, not long, So, so anyway, with that is that they asked her on the phone before they even called him, is there anything, they were trying to figure out, like a detective, is there anything that you said through the texting, or Is there anything that you said when you were with him, when you're hanging out with him or whatever, spending all that time with him? Is there anything that you said that could have got him to ghost you? And she's like, well, when we were in bed, that, I guess he's got like curly hair and with her eyes, and she just out of the blue said, oh my, like, wonder what our, like, and this was her first night having sex with him, only knowing him for a month. And she's already talking about like, I wonder what, like, if we had a baby, what the baby would look like. Phew, there goes Roadrunner. I just like, I mean, like when I heard her like in the car talking about this on the radio, I was like, really? I'm like, Starlight knows better than that. And after that, then she was kind of texting too much. So, and that was the thing, is that his past relationship, he was with a female that was really clingy. And this is what was turning him off. Besides, she really, really went too quick, with this whole thing about, already thinking about having babies with this man that only, slept with one night, so, and that is why it's so important, is that, dude, like that guy that was going with her, now if I was her, right, if I was the female, no, actually I don't want to be her. Now, it is a lot different though when a guy and a girl, like for a girl, it is different. The guy doesn't change. His body parts does not change, when he hasn't had sex in a while. Like in a way it does. I mean, if he didn't have any, if he wasn't, it just, women are a lot different. It's a whole lot different thing. Like if a girl, gave up sex to a man for one night. See, now she gave herself, I don't know how long she was single, but, I have been single for, almost 7 years, or, like from, no sex, that is, till 2018. So, so they say 7 years you're a virgin for females. So this is what devastates me when I put myself in that situation like that. If I was the guy and, just was getting out of, like a relationship, and then gave myself over to, a guy, I'm not going to give myself over to a girl, but, guys, a girl cannot tell if a guy just had sex yesterday, where a guy, he would be able to tell if she had sex yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So things are, that's why it's so much different for a female than a guy, because a guy, I would never know, if he told me that he hasn't had sex in, 4 months, I couldn't tell, by having sex with him. So it is different, and that is, Starlight has issues with that. Is like, oh man, I was saving myself, and over one night, over one night. See, and this story is so important that you understand that that guy needed more time, so he gave himself over to her. Like I was saying, it's totally different for a female, because things kind of change. Her body does change after all that, if she hasn't had sex in a while, and so, you reap what you sow, because now she gave herself over to this guy, and who knows how long she's been single, but now, there it goes. It's gone. Now you're going to have to wait another 7 years, so it's wise, to heal from that past relationship, and have that time. Don't go out looking for someone, is that you need, because, you're going to bring problems into that relationship. And the people on the radio station was asking him questions. It's like, hey, so with that lady, did you guys, go on a date? And he goes, oh yeah, we went and did this and went and did that, and, everything was going good, but first he said, first, before he even said what I'm going to say is, first he said, oh my, first thing when they mentioned his name and, hey, what happened, I'd like to find out what happened. And he's like, wow, and then he brought up his ex about being clingy about the text messages, overdoing it with the text messages. And so with that, men and women are different in that area, I do have to say. But giving yourself over, being too quick about things, you kind of reap what you sow on that. It's kind of like, well, you kind of asked for it. You gave yourself up too early. You didn't even, a month is really nothing to get to know that guy, so, and now she's crying the blues right now because it backfired, so, and that's why it's so important to, believe me, I know she's crying the blues. She wanted to have a baby with him, before she even, too quick. I don't even know if they discussed even if they want kids later on down the road somewhere, so, but it is so important to, really heal, like, don't be so quick to hurry up and, go on the dating app. Yeah, you're lonely. Yeah, and it is sad, and it is, you feel lonely, but you need that time alone with yourself to find out who you are. Maybe, you didn't know what you wanted before, and, did you learn your lesson before? What lesson did you learn before? Because it don't seem like you learned a lot of lessons because you were so quick to get into bed, and have sex. So it is a shame, but this is the way society is. And and now, with the teens, it's hard to say what they've been taught. And the rest of the story on this is the radio station let that man talk, and I think he just like, oh yeah, he just like really put it on, and he says, oh yeah, when we were in bed, she just said, that his friend, he told his friends, his friends was like, because he was on his phone with receiving all these text messages, and they're like, hey, what's up, what's going on? And he's like, oh my, it's this chick, this chick, like here, like she's texting me all the time, but really the part of wanting to have a, like saying, hey, wonder what our baby would look like, that scared and that's what I was laughing so hard in the car. I was like, oh my, you scared the blank out of him. He ran, he's like gone, like, so, and I guess they were a beautiful, like a guy and a girl. But see, it's not about the outside. This is where a lot of people fail, is that they're so busy about like on, like where I was on is Plenty of Fish, a dating app and now it's totally different now. Before it used to be absolutely free, and now nothing's free. I don't think there's any literally a free dating app out there. And so it is really sad because people are so more concerned about looking at your face, looking at your body, trying to find out if this is a old picture or a new picture, and these days, sorry, I got a little drip, is now with the AI out there and you got robots out there on dating apps, so that's the, like, I'm not saying you can't find somebody out there, but man, you're going to be more likely to pay for it. And Starlight will never pay for another. I already don't need to pay for a dating app anymore. I wouldn't even do it, but even if I could, or even if I had to, or even if I thought to, I wouldn't even waste my time or money in it. And it doesn't even matter, because I'm already set. So you have to take time to heal and not be in such a rush. They were in a rush. They were drinking, that alcohol does some funky stuff, and so I hope the man has learned his lesson, and I hope that she learns hers. Don't scare the heck out, that guy. I don't know how far did he run, but imagine that. That is, you gotta, and that's why, and that's what it was. She scared the heck out of him, where she's like, oh no, you remind me of my ex, Well, slow down. Stop being in such a rush to go to home base. What can I say? Yay, we had a great time. Now, now you're feeling the pain. Oh man, what the heck? It's not worth it. You really, and it's I could go on and on, but I can't. I could just go on other topics, but that's going to be another day. So I really hope you get some help on this. Is like if you in this, even if you're not in a relationship right now, wait, be patient, get to really know the person, and ask a lot of questions. I mean, you don't have to have a whole bunch of questions right away. And I had somebody recently tell me, "Oh no, you don't have to do that." Bull blank, bull. And I'm like, how many relationships have you been in? And you're going to tell, like, you're going to give me advice when you really haven't been in really any relationships. And now you're going to give me advice on relationships. So that is not a wise thing. You got to make sure you get help from the right kind of people. If somebody really only had one relationship, they were trying to keep themselves pure, and then they went out and, that's one relationship. I would not want to take advice from you. Sorry, but that would not make any sense. So anyway, I love you so much, and I really hope you get a lot of help. Really be patient. Ask questions, and make sure they're being honest though, because people can say whatever they want to say to make you feel good and say everything that you're desiring to have in a relationship. So if they're being dishonest, during that time, then when you ask them questions, you're wasting your time right there. Be like, sorry dude, sorry chick, but I'm out of here. I gotta split. So anyway, I love you. This is Starlight. You can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And plus, don't forget you can share my videos. Share my videos with your family, your friends, a cat. We haven't picked on cats in a while. So yeah, you can share my videos with a cat and a... I'm trying to think of other animals. What kind of animal? Let's see. I guess a robin. Rockin' robin. Tweet. Tweetity. Rockin' the treehouse all day long. Okay, Michael Jackson. So yeah, you could share my videos with a robin. And also you could follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. And don't forget the notification bell, ding, ding, ding. And don't forget to check out my playlist. And if you have any questions, feel free. If you're curious to what Starlight will say about that topic or this topic or whatever, I will talk about pretty much anything. But politics is not something that Starlight likes to talk about. So anyway, I do love you. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and